Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible engine that powers our entire online shopping world, the modern warehouse. It's a place of absolutely incredible speed and precision. And we're about to see exactly how it all works. You know the feeling, right? You find that thing you've been looking for online, you hit add to cart, and you click that beautiful buy now button. And then, what? A box just kind of magically shows up at your door a day or two later? But in that gap, there is a crazy, high-speed ballet of technology and people that springs into action. And the star of this whole show, the conductor of the orchestra, is something called a warehouse management system, or WMS. Just think of it as the central nervous system, the powerful software brain that knows where every single item is and tells everyone and everything what to do. It runs the entire operation. But you know, the story of your order doesn't actually start when you click buy. Nope, it starts way before that, with the product's arrival at the warehouse. This is what's called the inbound process, and it is a masterpiece of choreography. It basically happens in three main steps. First, there is pre-receiving. This is the planning stage, where the warehouse gets a heads up on what's coming. Then you have receiving, the actual physical unloading and checking of the goods, and finally, put away, where every single item gets scanned and put in its perfect home on the shelves. So that first stage, the planning, is all made possible by something called an ASN, or an Advanced Shipment Notice. It's a digital message from the supplier that says, hey, a truck is coming at this exact time, and here is a list of every single thing inside it. This lets the warehouse plan out everything, which dock to use, how many people they'll need, everything. And where they put this stuff is just brilliant. Items are stored in two kinds of spots. You've got reserve slots. Those are the really high shelves for all the bulk backstock. But the prime slots? Those are the money spots. They're the lower, easy-to-reach shelves for the stuff that sells fast. It's all about minimizing movement and maximizing speed. Okay, so all the products are neatly shelved and accounted for, just waiting. And now we get back to you. The moment you clicked buy, you set off a huge chain reaction inside that warehouse. Now, your order doesn't go on this journey alone. It gets bundled together with thousands of other orders into what the industry calls a cycle wave. The WMS looks at this massive batch of orders and basically creates a master plan to get them all picked and packed in the most efficient way humanly possible. And this is where things get really fast. The outbound process is where your order physically comes to life. First, an associate goes and picks your items. Then they're all consolidated together. Next, they're packed into the perfect box. And finally, they're handed off to the shipping carrier. It's go, go, go. To make sure they grab the right items every single time, these pickers rely on some pretty cool tech. There's RF picking, where they use handheld scanners that guide them right to the location. And then there's voice picking, where they wear a headset that literally tells them where to go and what to grab, which keeps their hands totally free to work even faster. You know, one of the sneakiest, biggest challenges in all of this is something called cartonization. We've all been there, right? You order one tiny thing and it shows up in a box big enough for a microwave. Well, the WMS is designed to stop that. It uses really complex logic to pick the smallest, most perfect-sized box, which saves a fortune on cardboard and on shipping costs. Getting this right is a huge deal. So with millions of items flying around, being picked, packed, and shipped, how on earth do they keep it all accurate? Well, that's the job of the quality assurance team. They are the guardians of the warehouse's inventory. And their job is absolutely critical. Like one expert in the field said, getting that inventory picture right, it's the single biggest pain point for any retailer. The WMS has to be the one source of truth, and it needs to be perfect. Because think about it, if the computer system thinks you have 100 of something, but you really only have 90 on the shelf, you're going to end up selling 10 that you don't actually have. And that leads to canceled orders, angry emails, and really unhappy customers. That perfect count is what makes sure the in-stock number you see online is actually real. So how do they do it? The main tool they use is called cycle counting. And no, this isn't shutting the whole place down once a year for a massive inventory check. It means sending people out onto the floor every single day to physically count small specific sections just to make sure the number in the computer perfectly matches the number on the shelf. It's a constant process of verification. So who are the master architects behind these incredibly complex software brains? Well, the WMS market is actually dominated by just a handful of specialized tech giants. If you look at what the industry analysts say,
Companies like Manhattan Associates and Blue Yonder are really the top dogs in this space, with huge players like Oracle and SAP also in the mix. The software is so insanely complex that most retailers just buy these systems instead of even trying to build their own. And really, these systems are the true unsung heroes of e-commerce. They are that invisible engine seamlessly conducting this incredible symphony of people, robots, and data, all working together just to bring the world to your front door. We've seen how much technology has already totally changed the game. But with AI and robotics advancing faster than ever, you have to wonder, what new levels of speed and efficiency will the warehouse of tomorrow unlock? The next chapter in this story is really just getting started.